Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Naveen, and today we'll be looking at part 2 of Algebra series. We'll be solving few questions again. If you remember, in the last session, we discussed some questions on modulus and area. Today, we'll be looking at a mixture of questions from sequences and series, maybe few word problems, and we will look into it as to how to solve questions in a better and a faster way, in a more logical way. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's begin. Okay, so if x plus 1 by x is a positive integer and x cube plus 1 upon x cube is 198, then we need to find the value of x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4. So what should be the answer? Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll wait for a couple of minutes, as in 2 minutes. And in the meantime, if I see an answer, great. If not, I'll anyways start solving. So let's see. We have x cube plus 1 by x cube. We need to find out x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4. Okay. So let's say x plus 1 by x is equal to, let's say, k. Okay. Now, if I cube on both the ends, I will be getting x plus 1 by x whole cube, which results in x cube plus 1 by x cube plus 3 times x plus 1 by x, right? And this results in k cube. So if we rearrange, we will see x cube plus 1 by x cube plus 3 times k is equal to k cube. Now, we already know what x cube plus 1 by x cube is. So from here, we will have k cube minus 3k is equal to 198. Or we can take out k common, we will have k square minus 3 is equal to 198. In other words, I need to think of a value, okay, k, right? When we say x plus 1 by x is a positive integer, in other words, we are saying k is a positive integer. So we don't have to think that k can be any value. Of course, it can be a lot of different values, but we have to think only in terms of positive integers, natural numbers, right? So don't have to think that what if k is irrational, what if k is fraction? No, we're only on it. So let's start. Can I take k as 1? No. 2? No. 3? Yes, it might be possible. So this is going to be 3 into 6. Doesn't make sense. Actually, 198 is nothing but, this is 18 into 11, right? 180 plus that. So what shall we take in place of k so that we get a combination of k into k square minus 3 is equal to 18 into 11? If I take k is equal to, let's say, 6, so will I be able to get that? Because at 5, if I take k as 5, my answer is going to be in the table of 5. 198 is not in the table of 5. As in other words, multiple of 5. If I take k is equal to 4, the resultant should be a multiple of 4. 198 is not, right? So that's the reason I took k as 6. So if I take k as 6, this becomes 6 into 36 minus 3, which is 33. 6 into 33 is same as 18 into 11. So we get the value of x plus 1 by x, which is 6. Right? Now, once we have reached here, now we have to reach x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4, which we can do by squaring again and again. So if we square on both the ends, we will have x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 6 square, which is 36, and minus 2, that will result in 34. If I square it once again, I will have x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 plus 2. This will result in 34 square. Now, if you know what 34 square is, great. If you don't, still you do not have to be worried about, because x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 will be 34 square minus 2, which means 34 square is a number that ends in a 6. And if you subtract 2 from there, it will be a number that will end in a 4. So let's say even if you have no idea what 34 square is, you can only look at the last digit and be confident. So we are pretty sure that the answer is not B, but is it 974, 1024, 1154? Well, 32 square is 2 to the power 10, which is 1024. So the answer is definitely more than 32 square. So it's definitely more than 1024. So the only option that makes sense is option D. Let's see if anyone was able to answer it. No. Queenie, you may have come across this for the first time. Normally what happens is x plus 1 by x is given to you, and then you have to proceed with higher powers. In this case, higher powers given, you had to roll back to the basic x plus 1 by x and then increase to x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4. Great. Okay. Next question. How many ordered pair of positive integers x, y satisfy the equation? So we need positive integers, that is natural numbers, and we need ordered pairs. Again, take a couple of minutes. Anyone? So these are all standard questions, as in the the steps or the process involved is the same. The logic is the same. The only things that might change is because of the kind of coefficients or the kind of plus and minus are attached to an equation. Logic doesn't change. So it may be a little more hectic when it comes to calculation. एक भी नहीं है आंसर ऐसा लग रहा है, right? Or it may be easy. So there is a standard step. What you do is you get rid of the denominators by taking the LCM. So can we rewrite this as 3y minus 4x is equal to x1? ये आपका पहला step. Second step is bring everything on the same side. So this becomes xy minus 3y plus 4x is equal to 0. Next step is, since there are two variables x and y, put two factors here. In other words, two brackets as the product equal to. X and y are multiplied because they were in different brackets or they were part of different factors. So when we will open the bracket, we will be getting xy. Now the second term, y is getting multiplied by minus 3. This will only happen if minus 3 is in the other bracket, which is not a part of y. So if y is in one bracket, minus 3 should be in the other one. Then only you will get minus 3y. The next term has plus 4x. So x gets multiplied with plus 4. This will only happen when plus 4 is in the other bracket, but not with x. Now, if you now open both the brackets, you will be getting x and y product, which is xy, x into 4, which is 4x, minus 3 into y, which is minus 3y. But you will also be getting minus 3 into 4, which is minus 12, which is missing here. So we should be allowing that. So whatever constant we are supposed to have on the left hand side is the same value we will be putting on the right hand side. Now, completely your choice if you would like to keep this as such, or if you want to change that minus 12 to 12. Okay, so completely your choice. I will be doing that. If I make this as 12, so instead of x minus 3, I'll prefer 3 minus x. Okay, not changing the sign of y and plus 4. Negative, we are not good with that, right? Okay. Now looking at this, we need the values of x and y as positive integers, right? So that would mean no matter what value of y I put, y plus 4 will never be negative, right? Y is always positive here. So it will never be negative. That is not negative. And if I want the product to be 12, which is positive, so 3 minus x should also be positive, right? 3 minus x is going to be positive if when x is also positive. So x can take 1. So instead of saying x can take 1, let's write it like this. I'm saying that this is going to be 1 into 12. Forget about what x and y are. Ignore them. Next, I can have 2 into 6. Next, I can have 3 into 4. Next, I can have 4 into 3. Next, I can have 6 into 2. Next, I can have 12 into 1, right? These are the only integral ways of writing 12 as product of two integers. Now, let's take one by one. Okay, 1 into 12 is going to happen when x is going to be 2, right? And y is going to be 8. Very much acceptable. Next, 3 minus x is going to be 2 when x is going to be 1, and y plus 4 is going to be 6 when y is going to be 2. Ye bhi acceptable hai. 3 into 4 will happen when x is going to be 0 and y is also going to be 0, since it says positive integers. So aap nahi le sakte isko, right? Next, if I say 4 into 3, this will happen when x is going to be minus 1 and y is going to be minus 1. You can't take that because x and y, they're supposed to be positive. What you will realize is for the other cases also, x will be negative. Now, if you're also thinking about minus 1 into minus 12, so I'll be getting minus 1 into minus 12 when x will be 4. At x is equal to 4, we will have 3 minus 4 as minus 1. But for minus 12, y has to be minus 16. Now y will become negative. So that is something we can't take, right? If I take minus 12 into minus 1, that is also not permissible because at that time y will be minus 5. You can't take that. So we realize that there are only two ordered pair solutions. हाँ, दो हैं. So 1 to 8 to 8 और. So hit and trial will take you only to a certain extent, and we will never be confident that the number of solutions we have found, they are enough, or those are the exact number of solutions, unless and until we end up with a scenario which is restricted. Now we cannot take any random values of x and y. So this question is not of algebra. Basically it uses the concept of factors, which is under the topic numbers. So let's look at the next question. So arithmetic progression का question. Let's see. Without using formula, can we solve this? Very good answer. That was quick. Good. So please remember, in any AP, any arithmetic progression, the sum of the first term and the sum of the last term will be same as sum of the second term and the sum of the second last term. And this will continue. So if you have an arithmetic progression, if you pick a term at a position nth from the left hand side, and if you pick another term from the right hand side, which is also at the nth position, their sum will never change. And if we actually take the average of each of such pairs of terms, they will always give us the average of the AP. Okay? So T1 and T36 ka average, I'm going to completely ignore the other terms. I'm only picking the first and the last term. Average of these two will be the average of the entire AP. So T1 and T36, I will club them together. Then I will club T4 and T33. This is the fourth term from the left, and T33 is the, as in the 33rd term from the left, is also the fourth term from the right. कैसे पता चलेगा? If you look at the subscripts, 1 plus 36 is 37. 4 plus 33 is also 37. 11 plus 26 is also 37. 17 plus 20 is also 37. So the sum of subscripts is always one more than the number of terms. So that's the hint, that's the trick here. So if I club T1 plus T36, similarly if I club T4 plus T33, or fourth term and 33rd term, 11th term and 26th term, 17th term and 20th term. So I will be able to find that this is nothing but pairs of four terms, four pairs of terms which are equidistant from both the ends of this AP. And this is given as 168. Now, if I say average of the AP is X over here, right? So can we say first plus last ka sum 2X? Fourth term and fourth from the other end is also 2X. So each one is going to be equal to 2X. And that results in 168. 8X results in 168. X results in 21. So this is nothing but the average of the AP. Or what is average? Her number 21. One. Who's stopping us? So every term is 21. If every term is 21, what is the sum of 36 21s? 36 into 21, which will result in 756. Sorry, 756 or 726. I think 756. 720 plus 36, 756. So actually instead of doing all of this, मैं यहाँ पर ऐसे कर लेता हूँ. Since no condition is given, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 terms लिखे हुए. 8 terms का sum 168 है. I'm assuming that every term is same, because nowhere in this world, nowhere in any book has it ever mentioned that an arithmetic progression or a series has to have a non-zero common difference. ऐसा कभी नहीं है. You can have a series which looks like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. This is an arithmetic progression. This is a geometric progression. This is a harmonic progression. होता है. If you have the same term throughout, it is all the series. Okay. So I will assume that every number is same. So each number is 21. There are 36 21s written. So the sum will be 36 into 21. तब भी solve हो जाएगा. Even if I had no idea about this particular concept. So be a little smart and you will be able to get answers faster. Okay, next one. Number of positive integral solutions of the equation where greatest integer of x denotes a value which is greater than greatest integer less than or equal to x. So a person will be able to solve this under a minute's time only if that person is comfortable with greatest integer function, also known as floor function, also known as step function. If you're not comfortable with this, no matter how much you try, it will take a lot of time. So I'm saying if this is true, suppose is 0, right? Now, why am I taking 0? Because question asked is positive integral solutions. मतलब x positive होना चाहिए. So if I take -1, x has to be negative. If it is 0, x may or may not be negative. Now, how do I know this? Because that's the concept of greatest integer function. If this is true, then x is going to be anything from 1, but it should be less than 28. Because the moment x is 28, my 28 upon 28 GIF is abbreviation for greatest integer function. So 28 by 28, which is 1's GIF is 1, but 28 by 37's GIF will become 0. So I can't take x as 20. I can take x as 27. Dono 0 there. Okay. Next, if I want this to be equal to 1. Now this will be equal to 1 when x is 28, agreed, but then x by 37 won't be 1. So in order for that to happen, I need to have x is going to be at least 37. But The moment x is going to be, let's say, uh, more than 28, sorry, more than 37. So 37 agar ho gaya suppose. So 37 by 28 is 1 and 37 by 37 is 1. So no problem. The moment it becomes double of 28, which is 56, my x by 28 will become 56 by 28, which is 2, while 56 by 37 will still be 1. So I can't take 56 because there will be a mismatch. So I have to take anything less than 56, which is going to be, okay, मैं आपको समझाने के लिए कह देता हूँ, this is 1 times 28 से कम होना चाहिए और ये 2 times 28 से कम होना चाहिए, so that you can see the pattern. Now they are going to be equal to 2. Now for 2, I need to have x by 28 is 2, x is 56, no problem with that. But x by 37 has to be also 2. X by 37 is going to be 2 when x is going to be twice of 37, which is going to be 74. So x is going to be at least 74. But again, if x is a value such that x by 28 becomes 3, that will happen at 3 times of 28, which is 84. Right? At 84, I will have this as 3, while this will still remain as 2. 84 by 37 is 2 point something. You know? So 2 pe reh jayega. So I can't take beyond that. So this has to be 84 ke pehle tak. So this is going to be 3 times of 2. If this is going to be equal to 3, now for this to be 3, x by 28 is 3 is going to be at 84 itself. But at that point, x 84 by 37 won't be 3. So if I want that to also be 3, so I have to take a value more than 84. So if I take 3 times of 37, which is 111. So 111 by 28, which is going to be almost 4, but it's going to be 3, right? Because 28 into 4 is 112, right? So 111 pe, they both are going to give us 3, but the moment I take x as 112, this x by 28 becomes 4. So I can't take 112, so it has to be less than that. So what you will find is this is 4 times 28 se kam. Or idhar mein what is 37? 37 is 1 times 37. This one is 2 times 37. And this is 3 times 37. So you can see that how the pattern is changing. Now beyond this, what we will realize is the minimum of x is going to be larger than maximum of x. So this is the only range where we get one value of x. No, we will not be getting any more values of x. Now we will have to count. So 1 to 28, these are 28 numbers. Then 37 up to 55, which is going to be 55 minus 28, which is 17. Sorry, 55 minus 28 is 27. Acha, 38. Sorry. 55 minus 36. What am I doing? 55 minus 36 is 19. Sorry. Then we will have 74 to 83, which is 10. And then x will be only 111. So 1 more. So 55 minus, acha, this is not 28, this is 27. 1 to 27 is allowed, no? 28 allowed. So 27 values. So this is 1 to 27. This one is 37 to 55. Next one is 74 to 83. And this is only 111. Okay, so this is 20, 30, 40, 50. 57 values of x will satisfy this. Right? Right, Pranga. Okay. So have to be very careful, right? Because we are counting number of terms somewhere in the middle, the range of values. So bahut dhyan se karna. Okay, next one. In an exam, there are 100 questions. 4 marks are awarded for a correct answer and 1 mark is deducted for a wrong one. In how many ways a score of 58 is possible? Attempting questions in an exam and also elections, casting vote in an election. They both are saying whatever you see is not the reflection of the overall outcome. There are many stages involved. For example, your marks doesn't depend on how many questions you attempt, and in some exams it doesn't even depend on how many questions you answered correctly. In some exams it doesn't even depend on how many questions you answered correctly as well as how many mistakes you made, right? So there are a lot of variables involved depending on the exam case. So if you talk about the total number of questions, 100, तीन चीजें हो सकती हैं. Either you're going to answer it correctly, or you're going to answer it wrong, or you are going to live it. You're not going to attempt it. You stands here for unattempted, right? See, either you will attempt it or you will not. If you don't attempt it, वो तो गया. You did not see it. You did not know how to solve it. हो गया. But the questions that you attempted, there are two possibilities of the outcome. Either they are correct or they are wrong. Now, as per this question, for every correct, you are awarded 4 marks. And for every wrong, you are awarded -1. For unattempted, obviously, 0. Nothing is mentioned. 0. And they're saying this should be 58. Now, question is, how many ways are possible to get this? So this is actually 4c minus 10. So how many ways are there? Now, you can see that there are 3 variables involved and only 2 equations. So you do not have any direct way to solving this. I mean, there is a way, but you can't solve it directly looking at these 2 equations simply. What you will have to do is minimize the number of variables first as much as possible. So what you will realize is either you can eliminate C or W. Eliminate one of them, whichever is easier to eliminate. So I think if I add them, I will be able to eliminate W quickly. So what I will have is 158. That will result in C plus 4C, which is 5C. W gets cancelled out and plus C. Right? Now, 158 has to be divided in terms of 5C and U. So let's see. First, C is going to be 0 and U is going to be 158. Doesn't make sense, don't you think? Unattempted 158 कैसे हो सकता है? If there are 100 questions, how come we have 158 unattempted questions? This one doesn't make sense. So can we say unattempted has to be less than 100? So it's not a smart way to start from U side. It's better if we start from C side. As in, let's try to maximize C. That will be a smarter way, right? So if we take C as, let's say, 31. So 5 into 31 will result in 155, right? So U is going to be 3. Now what happens is, C will change by the coefficient of U, which is 1. So C जो है वो 1 से कम, and U will change by the coefficient of C, and U will increase by 5. So the next set of values of C and U that will satisfy this will be 30 and 8. So you don't have to do any more hit and trial. Only the first step you have to do hit and trial. Afterwards, you will be able to find all such cases. But please pay attention, the number of questions are increasing, right? So you have to be careful. So after 3, you will have 8, then you will have 30, you will have 18. So you can see that looking at the options, worst possible case, you will have 18 answers possible, right? चलो चलते हैं. Um, if you are at 31 and if we keep on subtracting 17 times, so we will end up having 17 times. We'll end up having 14, right? So if C is 14, that is 70, and U is going to have 88. Now 14 plus 88 is already more than 100. So we can't have that. Okay, what if C was 13? If C was 13, this would have been 83. Are you not? Sorry, not 13, 15. Because it is decreasing by 1, right? So 15 and 83. 83 plus 15 is less than 100. So we can say these are all the values of C and corresponding values of U that we can take, right? So 15 to 31, how many values have we written? It's easier to check C because it's increasing by 1. If you or decreasing by 1, depends what's your perspective. But if you look at U, there is a change of 5 every time, right? So uska AP ka number of terms nikalna is not that easy, but consecutive numbers is rather easier. So what we can do is check out how many numbers are there from 15 to 30. Well, it's 31 minus 14, right? 17. Right, Harshad. And Kasak, did you answer it? No, आपने पिछले का सीखा. So you'll have 17 solutions. Or there are 17 ways of getting 58. Got it? You don't have to find what are the corresponding values of W. वो अपने आप आता है. So the concept used over here was whenever you have a linear equation of the form like this, X key value will always change by B and the value of Y always change by A. When I say change, one increases, other decreases, both increases, both decreases. It depends on whether they are plus, minus, or in which direction you're trying to move. Accordingly, it changes. In case you are thinking about 3 variables or terms with 3 coefficients, 3 different variables, linear equation in 3 variables. Those case it also happens, but it is very difficult. That's why they have never asked you in CAT or any exam 3 variables. In that worst case, take the term with the highest coefficient, consider that to be 1, see the changes in the other 2 smaller coefficients using the same concept. फिर आप largest coefficient वाले को फिर एक से बढ़ाओ, then see the changes. That way you solve. Okay, go ahead. Do you guys have any doubts? Is there anything you guys would like to ask? Anyone? Is there any particular type of questions, any particular topic that you would like me to discuss the questions from, whether it is Quant or LRDI? You can let me know in the next session of that particular section. Whenever it is going to happen, we will do that. No? No one? So, if you guys have any doubts, please make sure that you write in the comment. Okay, I'll get back to you. LRDI, Harshal, LRDI, I have just begun. I have taken only one session. We will be doing games and tournament, set theory, grids and matrices, timeline based, arrangement, combinations. Excuse me. Red sugar. Abhi wo sab aayega, but I was asking about a specific topic. LRDI is a section, right? As in within LRDI, which particular set theory, games and tournament. Within games and tournament, do you want knockouts or round robin? Within set theory, 2 set, 3 set, 4 sets, n number of sets. Go. So whichever type of questions or topics you would like me to discuss, please let me know in the comment. Okay, I'll read that and I'll bring it. Definitely. Try नहीं, बिल्कुल करेंगे वो. Okay. Chalo, so that's all for tonight. Take care, everyone. Good night.